Did you know that most people think they know what they are good at, but they are usually wrong? Intriguing, isn't it? How well do you know yourself? Hey, what's going on, guys? You are watching Reading for Living, the show on YouTube for future millionaires and entrepreneurs. Knowledge is power, and I'm here to bring you the key takeaways from the books that can change your life for the better. The book of today is Managing Oneself by Peter Drucker. This book dives deep into personal development, self-awareness, and the intricacies of making the most out of your career. Forget horoscopes and self-help fluff. This is a guide rooted in practical wisdom. It's a classic that helps you understand yourself in a world constantly pushing you to conform. This isn't just praise. It's a fact that this book has sold millions of copies and has been foundational in personal development literature. Now let's dive in and find out 10 key takeaways from this book. Number 1. Know thyself. In Managing Oneself, Peter Drucker stresses that the cornerstone of success and effective leadership is self-awareness, encapsulated in the phrase, know thyself. Drucker introduces a powerful technique called feedback analysis to truly understand your strengths and weaknesses. This isn't merely a suggestion for introspection, but a structured approach that requires you to write down what you expect will happen whenever you take a key action or make an important decision. After a period, compare the actual outcomes to your expectations. This process helps to identify patterns, thereby allowing you to reinforce your strengths and remedy your weaknesses. Knowing your strengths isn't just about capitalizing on what you're good at, but also about improving those areas where you could excel with just a bit more focus. Drucker asserts that people are rarely good at more than 2 or 3 things. Your strengths are where you should invest your time and energy, as these are areas where you can achieve results that will make a difference. Drucker is adamant that it's futile to waste time improving areas of low competence. Instead, the focus should be on refining and deploying your strengths as effectively as possible. This is where the concept of return on investment, ROI, applies to self-management. Allocating time and effort to hone your strengths yields a much higher ROI than endlessly working on your weaknesses. Understanding one's strengths also aids in teamwork and organizational development. When you know what you're good at, you can work to complement the strengths of your team members, thus creating a more cohesive, productive environment. Overall, the key takeaway of Know Thyself serves as a foundational principle for personal and professional development. Number 2. How do you perform? Drucker argues that knowing how you work is not a matter of style, but rather a matter of method. It's about understanding how you process information, how you make decisions, and how you get things done. This insight is not just for personal enlightenment, but is geared towards maximizing productivity and achieving success. Drucker outlines several methods for determining your own work style. Are you a reader or a listener? Your preferred method of absorbing information could greatly affect how you should approach tasks and even meetings. Knowing this about yourself can also help you interact more effectively with others by understanding their preferred methods as well. Another point Drucker raises is the time of day you are most productive. Are you a morning person or a night owl? Capitalizing on your natural rhythms can improve your efficiency dramatically. Knowing how you perform is about understanding these idiosyncrasies and implementing a work regime that caters to them. Drucker also emphasizes the importance of how you make decisions. Some people work well in a group collaborative setting, while others prefer solitary deliberation. Knowing which suits you best can significantly affect your decision-making process and the quality of those decisions. In a world that's increasingly team-oriented, knowing how you perform is invaluable. It allows you to put yourself in positions where you can excel and avoid situations that set you up for failure. Overall, understanding your work methods gives you a strategic advantage in whatever you set out to accomplish, making this a crucial takeaway for anyone keen on effective self-management. Number 3. What are your values? In Managing Oneself, Peter Drucker identifies understanding one's values as a pivotal key takeaway. Drucker asserts that knowing what you stand for and what you believe in is non-negotiable for effective self-management and decision-making. Your values act as a moral compass that guides your behavior and choices, thereby dictating your interaction with others and your contribution to an organization. Drucker emphasizes that a mismatch of values between an individual and an organization often leads to poor performance, dissatisfaction, and even ethical breaches. Hence, he suggests an introspective approach, often termed the mirror test, to identify what is truly important to you. This involves questioning your principles, what you see as right and wrong, and what is non-negotiable in your ethical framework. However, understanding your values is not just an introspective exercise, it is also about alignment. Drucker argues that once you understand your core beliefs, You should actively seek out roles, responsibilities, and organizations that align with those values. Doing otherwise could result in internal conflicts that can stymie both personal and professional growth. If you are in a situation where your values and your work are at odds, the dissatisfaction will likely impair your performance and potentially lead to a feeling of disillusionment. Knowing your values is, therefore, foundational to your effectiveness. It acts as a guiding principle for navigating complex decisions, setting priorities, and even selecting the kind of work and environments that will nourish your personal and professional development. In essence, Drucker places a high premium on the congruence of personal values with work life, seeing it as a cornerstone of a successful and fulfilling career. Number 4. Where do you belong? Peter Drucker presents the notion of where do you belong as a critical takeaway for individuals aspiring to lead successful lives both personally and professionally. According to Drucker, it's not enough to know your strengths, your way of performing, and your values. You also need to know where you fit, the environments in which you can excel. Drucker emphasizes that people are often misplaced in roles that do not align with their true abilities, even if they are skilled or knowledgeable in the field. This mismatch is typically not because of the job or the individual's skills, but rather because of the kind of place in which they find themselves. Some people thrive in a large corporate setting, while others excel in smaller entrepreneurial ventures. Some are more effective in academia, while others belong in a customer-facing role. Understanding where you belong can be determined through a series of experiences and self-reflections. This may involve trying out different roles, organizations, and industries to gauge where your strengths and interests truly align. The point Drucker wants to make is that individuals who understand where they belong are far more effective, satisfied, and successful in their careers. They manage to contribute the most because they are operating in environments where they can excel naturally, where their unique skills and talents are most needed. In conclusion, knowing where you belong sets the stage for personal effectiveness. By aligning your career and work environment with your natural strengths and values, you set yourself up for a life of greater accomplishment and fulfillment. Number 5. What can you contribute? This key takeaway challenges the traditional job-centered approach of asking what a role demands. Instead, it encourages individuals to think proactively about what they can bring to the table. According to Drucker, it's not just about what you can do, but what you can do effectively that will make a significant impact on the organization or team. Drucker asserts that the question of contribution turns the focus outward, toward the needs of the world and your team, rather than inward on your own abilities. It propels you to consider how your unique skills and strengths can solve problems, create opportunities, or drive change. This outward perspective is vital in today's rapidly evolving work environment, where organizations are more dynamic and the ability to adapt and contribute in versatile ways is highly valued. The notion of contribution transcends roles and levels within an organization. Whether you're a junior employee or a top executive, your ability to identify and make meaningful contributions not only adds value to the organization, but also boosts your own career development and personal satisfaction. Drucker insists that this clarity of contribution leads to effective work, collaboration, and ultimately to success and fulfillment. Number 6. Responsibility for relationships. The book emphasizes the crucial but often overlooked takeaway of responsibility for relationships. Drucker argues that to be truly effective, one must take active steps to understand and manage how they relate to others. This isn't just about networking or building rapport. It's about a deeper sense of awareness and responsibility in creating productive working relationships. Drucker explains that it's naive to expect others to adapt to you. Instead, the onus is on you to disclose your working styles, strengths, and weaknesses, and to also understand the same attributes in your colleagues. In doing so, you create an atmosphere of mutual understanding that enables better collaboration and effectiveness. He contends that even a brilliant individual will see diminished impact if unable to work harmoniously with peers, subordinates, and superiors. The book also addresses the importance of accepting that others have different ways of working and seeing the world. Drucker argues that an effective manager doesn't just adapt to this reality, but also cultivates an environment where these differences are leveraged for collective benefit. Through active listening, clear communication, and a willingness to adapt, one can foster relationships that propel both individual and organizational success. This takeaway serves as a powerful reminder that management isn't just about managing tasks or projects, but fundamentally about managing relationships. Number 7. The second half of your life. Drucker argues that as individuals progress through their careers, it becomes increasingly important to begin thinking about the second act or the contributions one can make beyond their primary career. The emphasis here is not merely on preparing for retirement, but on thinking constructively about how to continue growing and contributing to society in meaningful ways. Drucker observes that traditional notions of retirement are becoming obsolete. As people live longer and remain active well into what was once considered old age, it becomes crucial to find new avenues for engagement and productivity. Drucker suggests that some people may find this second act in social entrepreneurship or volunteer work. Others may choose to transform deep-seated hobbies into second careers or become mentors to younger generations in their field of expertise. He points out that failing to plan for this phase can lead to a sense of purposelessness, making it a vital part of managing oneself effectively. It's not just about financial planning, but also about psychological and emotional preparedness. Knowing what will bring you fulfillment in the second half of your life can enrich your entire journey, providing not just a sense of direction, but also a more profound understanding of your own values and goals. This takeaway serves as a strategic framework for personal development that extends beyond the conventional timeline, urging individuals to consider their long-term impact on the world. Number 8. Stay engaged. This serves as a critical capstone to the book's overarching message of lifelong learning and self-management. Drucker emphasizes the importance of remaining intellectually and emotionally invested in one's career and broader life, insisting that disengagement is not only detrimental to productivity, but also to one's sense of self-worth and overall well-being. In a rapidly changing world, Drucker advises that the worst thing one can do is to become complacent. Whether you are early in your career or contemplating the second half of your life, staying engaged requires continual learning, adaptation, and the willingness to take on new challenges. It's not just about keeping busy, but about maintaining a level of involvement that allows for personal growth and satisfaction. Drucker provides specific recommendations for how to remain engaged, such as cultivating a strong network of relationships, setting achievable but challenging goals, and embracing opportunities for lifelong learning. He suggests that engagement is an active choice that involves taking responsibility for your own career and life path. This could mean seeking out additional educational opportunities, switching careers to pursue a newfound passion, or even diving into philanthropic endeavors. Ultimately, stay engaged is an exhortation to be an active participant in your own life, seizing opportunities for growth and never settling into passive complacency. This is pivotal for both personal satisfaction and long-term success. Number 9. Develop yourself. The 9th key takeaway, develop yourself, from Peter Drucker's Managing Oneself, resonates as a call to arms for anyone serious about achieving both professional and personal success. Drucker argues that in a constantly evolving work environment, coupled with a longer life expectancy, self-development isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. He emphasizes that the responsibility for development lies squarely on the individual, not the organization one works for. In today's knowledge economy, acquiring new skills, insights, and perspectives has become more accessible than ever before. Drucker points out that such self-improvement is essential for staying relevant, and he provides practical steps for individual development, like continually updating your knowledge base, improving your skills, and expanding your professional network. He also advocates for the feedback analysis method as a tool for self-assessment, which involves making a prediction about the outcome of a decision, then evaluating the actual outcome to understand one's strengths and weaknesses. Drucker stresses that development isn't a one-time effort, but an ongoing process. It's about recognizing that you are your most valuable asset and investing in yourself accordingly. This could be through formal education, professional development courses, or self-study. Whatever the method, the goal is the same: to be proactive in carving out a meaningful, fulfilling, and successful life. Therefore, develop yourself serves as a timeless and universal principle that speaks to the heart of self-management. Number 10. Prepare for succession. The 10th key takeaway from the book, Prepare for Succession, is a forward-looking principle that urges individuals to plan for the future in a structured way. According to Drucker, preparing for succession is not just a corporate responsibility, but also a personal one. He argues that the true mark of a successful individual is their ability to effectively hand over responsibilities, ensuring that their role and contributions can be sustained even in their absence. Drucker emphasizes that it's not enough to just excel in your current role. You must also consider what will happen when you're no longer in that role, either due to retirement, career shift, or any other reason. This requires identifying potential successors and nurturing their development. It's also about making sure that the knowledge and skills that contributed to your success are transferred effectively, creating a lasting impact. He points out that such a succession plan is not just a contingency measure, it's an integral part of personal and organizational growth. By preparing successors, you not only validate your own worth and contribution, but also contribute to the overall health and longevity of your professional environment. In a rapidly changing world, Drucker's takeaway on preparing for succession stands as a timeless guideline for effective personal management. These are the golden nuggets from the book Managing Oneself. Internalizing them can make a world of difference, not just in how you approach your career, but also in how you navigate the complexities of life. So, that wraps up this episode on reading for living. If this sparked your curiosity, I highly recommend grabbing a copy of the book. As always, share and subscribe if you found this video helpful. See you in the next episode, where we continue to delve into books that offer the blueprint to your success.